What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Tuesday out there, everyone, everywhere. It's the final day of June. That means we are inching closer to the beautiful, wonderful NFL season, as well as the Minnesota Fighting Vikings finally hoisting that Jerome Barty un time, un más paseo. Wait, no, that's one more time. But welcome to Livestream, live chat. You guys are the best. Thank you for coming along, making us part of your day. If you want to support the work, hit that join box. As I burp and die, become a monthly or platinum Jerome because I'm a professional here. It's warm in Minnesota, the wonderful Twin Cities here today. So we got the air conditioning cranked up because we've talked about here several times that one of my favorite ugly American things to do is when it's hot and humid out, just have that air conditioner cranked, revved. So you have to wear a hoodie inside. So here we are. We got some questions. Just getting through a Tuesday. It's a wonderful time here. So the question we put out there on top of normal Q&A, call it, is the best brand or flavor of chips. So now my tastes have certainly morphed as I've gotten older, because when I was a kid, just like Cooler Ranch Doritos, I couldn't keep those in stock. College, pretty much same thing. Then you got older, and I don't know. Maybe it's like your body eventually rejects something that it gets used to. But I don't know. Like Doritos are still great, but like kettle chips, like the jalapeno kettle chips, they're just really good. You just like the crunch. You like the heat. You like all that stuff. So first one is Josh Newman. The ones you buy in jail that already have the salsa on them. So I think I know what he's talking about. Jail chips with salsa already on them. Man, my Google searches are just weird. Oh yeah, I mean that's got to be it, right? No, the salsitas. Yeah, I mean that's gotta be it. That's gotta be close enough. All right. I'm on board with that. Although I will say, so the chips that already have like the salsa flavor on them is weird. Also, I love guacamole. I'm not down with the super synthetic like guacamole dust that's put on chips. Nah, screw that. Next up is Stanley Morris. Who's winning in a fight, Zimmer the Elder or Senior Kubiak? This gotta be Zim, right? I don't think Kubiak has a malicious bone in his body. I feel like Zimmer could F up some spaghetti. Yeah, probably pretty good. Plus, I mean, Kubiak had heart issues before, so maybe if that thing gets going, that acts up. I mean, Zimmer's health issues are limited to like vision, but like you've seen inspiring stories like wrestlers who are blind, because once you're able to. Once you got physical touch, everything just sort of takes over. So I feel like Zimmer, even if he went blind during the fight, would still be able to scrap as long as it got to the ground. There you go. Next up is Mo Abdul 99. Salt and vinegar chips or SunChips garden salsa, really underrated. So I agree. Also, so my kid, when we go to the store, sometimes we let her pick out something because then she thinks that she's a big girl and that she has choice in this world. So she picked out the salt and vinegar chips one day because they were in a purple bag. Right, purple's her favorite color. And I didn't think that she was gonna like them, but she loves them. Man, she loves them, and it's just one of those weird kid things, right? Because so salt and vinegar meme is really similar to like dill pickles, because you'll have kids that would not touch a dill pickle if their life depended on it. Like you could tell them, you need to eat this dill pickle, otherwise there will be no Christmas, no Hanukkah, no birthdays, no anything for 12 years. And they'd be like, no. And then there's kids that eat a jar of pickles a day. I think my kid's going to be the latter. It's fine. I'm kind of excited on the thought of Desmond King coming to Minnesota. I mean, I would be excited too. You got the best slot cornerback in the league coming to your squad. If it happens, it would be great. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. No. Zach Ballas, do you like music with screaming in it? Sour cream and onion. No? Although, what kind of screaming are we talking about? We talking about like screamo music? Because I'm not really down with that. Screamo. Oh my God, there's a Wikipedia entry on it, of course. It's characteristics. A list of Screamo bands. This will be good. I don't recognize any of these names. It's probably fine. Jerome's Dream? Actually, man. Oh, they broke up. Oh, they got back together again. So maybe we need to make them the official band of the show. Jerome's Dream. I would play some of their music, except we probably get booted off the live stream. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, I will listen to that and get back to it. But, no. Sour cream and onion, classic for sure. Like, although, when do you ever pair sour cream and onion outside of chips? I guess tacos. Maybe stroganoff. It's outside. It's off the menu suggestion. Jello Kid 494. I'm calling it right now. Justin Jefferson wins MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Offensive Player of the Year. Also, Lay's sour cream and onion. It's tough for a wide receiver to win MVP, mainly because if the wide receiver is putting up those type of numbers, usually the quarterback has something to do with it, and it's a quarterback's award. So it would almost have to be like Cousins plays 8 games and then gets hurt, and then Manning comes in. Because when was the last time there was a wide receiver even in the MVP conversation? Well, I mean, Megatron's insane year, and then we'll look up how the voting went down that year. I forget, was that 2012? Yeah, 2012. All right, so 2012 NFL MVP voting, because Adrian was 1. I want to see. So Adrian Peterson beat out Peyton Manning. That was his first year in Denver, where he went absolutely bat bleep insane. Wow. All right, so Adrian got 30.5 of the votes. Peyton got 19.5 of the 50 possible votes. So Megatron in 2012, when he almost had 2,000 yards receiving, didn't even get a single MVP vote. So that's how tough that is. Has there ever been a wide receiver MVP? So 87. So 87 Newspaper Enterprise Association NFL MVP award. So the strike shortened year, Jerry Rice got one, except that doesn't count. It just doesn't. Yeah, so there's never been an AP MVP or the Sporting News MVP, whatever the MVP of record is. Wow. It's actually kind of amazing. Next up, AJ Bowers. Lay's barbecue chips, the Pringles barbecue chips are very underrated as well. Yeah, I feel like Pringles are certainly underrated. Also, something that's way overdue, Pringles can turn. Something that's been a long time coming is, I can't find it specifically. Pringles can, like, bottom of deodorant. It's tough to explain. No, like, you know how a deodorant where you just like turn it as it runs out. Yeah, the Pringles can needs that. Yeah, like this, basically this. I've seen better illustrations of it before, but yeah, Pringles are underrated. Pringles are always kind of good. Next up is don't know what happened with the internet there. Because Rhodes was going to be making $14 million plus per year. Trey Waynes is going to be making 10, 12 million plus. Well, he's making 14 plus with the Bengals. Mac was going to cost something. So I think that overall, getting younger, getting cheaper, and also potentially having more talent long term, I think it is best for the Vikings. But say you had to win one game today, probably not as good as it was last year. But get back to me at the end of the season. Luke K, what's your favorite Disney movie? It's a good question. Let's see, list Disney movie. Because are we talking about just Disney animated movies? Are we talking about live action too? Because then, like, you could say Remember the Titans, because that's technically a Disney movie. Or, you could say one of the Marvel movies or Star Wars, even though I wouldn't, because I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan. I will say that Onward kind of sucked. Like, I can say that now, because I'm generally a big Pixar fan, except Onward, we watched it. My kid certainly wasn't interested in it. And also the plot, I have no urge to ever see Onward again. Like, if you told me that I'm never going to gaze upon the movie Onward ever again, I'm fine. God, Coco is really good, but I think I'm jaded by Coco. Well, not jaded, but my view of Coco is colored because of having a daughter. That gets you right there. Oh, yeah. Wait, Mighty Ducks counts as Disney, right? So I'll just say Mighty Ducks. Next up is Jason Enstead, Barbecue Lays. Barbecue Lays, man. You notice that barbecue chips never taste like barbecue sauce? It's weird, right? It's like its own unique flavor. Do you have a lot of confidence in Kubiak calling plays this year? Hell yeah. I mean, Gary Kubiak is a Super Bowl winning head coach. And by the way, he won a Super Bowl with the corpse of Peyton Manning. Also, his leading rusher was Ronnie Hillman. So that defense did really carry the way, but that offense did enough to keep it set above water. Kubiak got the best year of Flacco's career in 2014 out of him when he was OC in Baltimore. He turned Matt Schaub into a Pro Bowler, turned Arian Foster from undrafted nobody to one of the best running backs in the league. So I'm fine. Plus, even though Stefanski was the one calling the plays on game day, Kubiak had a big hand in game planning as well. Kubiak's been there, done that. I have no problem with him. Next up is Bob with the Bot. If Cam Newton wins the Super Bowl with the Patriots, is he a Hall of Famer? Let's take a look. Living in the Hall of Fame. PFR. Hall of Fame monitor. Oh, I'll check that out. Cam Newton. Oh, no, not PFF. I'm a PFR. Pro Football Reference, Cameron Newton. I don't know what's up with Google today. Get your shit together, man. All right, so Cam Newton, one-time first team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler. Only three-time Pro Bowler. That's weird. MVP in 2015. Super Bowl loss that year. Man, I don't know. Really? Well, let's look back. Wiki NFL MVPs. Because how many league MVPs are not in the Hall of Fame? All right, so Brian Sipe is not. Otis Anderson is not. Ken Anderson is not. Mark Mosley is not, but he's a kicker. Dickerson, yes. Marino, yes. Marcus Allen, yes. Taylor, yes. Boomer, no. Now, Boomer won an MVP? Shit. Yes. Thurman, yes. For Kurt Warner. Yeah, Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. Rich Gannon, no. Is McNair in? I want to say he's in. Oh, I guess not. R.I.P. Tomlinson, yes. Sean Alexander, no? I'm pretty sure not. No. Cam Newton, yes. Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's going to be borderline for the Hall of Fame, I think. For sure. Brady, yes. Mahomes, I mean, if you want to bet against Pat Mahomes not making this Hall of Fame, good luck. TBD with Lamar Jackson. So I would say if he just peels off a Super Bowl, unless he's league MVP, again, probably not. And I think right now, like if Cam retired today, I would say no, and not particularly close. But, I mean, if he heals up, that health is good to go, maybe we can get things going again. Next up is LJ Sneets, Harvest Cheddar SunChips. There's just something about SunChips. Where so with SunChips, you feel like you're eating a little bit healthier, except you're not. But you feel a little better about it, and that's actually most of the game. Also, so they use compostable bags, so the bags are actually really crappy, but you just feel better about it. Contain pork enzymes in addition to herbs or enzymes. Unique flavor. No, so there you go. But yeah. In October 2010, Frito-Lay stated that the compostable package would be pulled back in the United States. The bag created excessive noise, which prompted Facebook groups and complaints. Oh my God. I mean, if your life ever gets to the point where you find meaning in complaining about the material of a bag of chips and joining a Facebook group, you should. I don't know, man. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, you do feel a little bit better about eating SunChips, even though they're still kind of crappy. It's all good. I can't put my finger on why, but every time I buy a bag of these, they're gone within 24 hours, which never sees with any other chips. Well, I think they're also unique in the composition because, like, the SunChips, like the material, it's like, well, let's look up the ingredients because I feel like it's got like a nutty flavor. SunChips ingredients. All right, so the inscriptions are all right. So corn, sunflower, canola oil. That's not great. Whole wheat, brown rice flour, whole oat flour. Blah blah blah. Lee. I don't know, but they just make it taste different. It does. Next up, Owen Dietz, Ruffles, cheddar and sour cream, classic. Who do you think has the best singing voice on the Vikings coaching staff? Let's see, Viking. All right, so off the top of my head, I feel like Kennedy Palomalu, maybe, running backs coach. Maybe he's got like an Israel. What's the name of the Hawaiian singer? The guy who sings "Ooh" somewhere over the rainbow. Let's see here. Oh, Brian Periani. Maybe Periani. So Periani, likely Italian. So could he be like an opera background in there? I mean, he's a decent sized dude. Could he? Conte partido. Let's see who else here. Dom Capers, no. Albury. Nick Rawlis, maybe. Maybe. Huh. Ryan Ficken. I can tell you that Nate Kading cannot sing and he cannot dance. I'd be willing to bet all my money on it. Oh, Mark Ueyama, maybe, if he counts as a coach. Or maybe Maru Maloof could belt out some good tunes. I don't know. I just know that Zimmer can't sing, which 1,000% he can't sing. Next up, I don't dance, you don't sing, and whatnot. Luke K, I love kettle chips, so I would have to go with Old Dutch. As a kid, the jalapeno and cheddar was amazing. I think they changed the recipe. Also regular kettle potato chips with chopped potato or French onion dip super. Questions, things to get at the Minnesota State Fair. Man, so I'm kind of bummed about the State Fair, especially everything we know about the Rona now. But you know, it's recommendations for the State Fair. So I always get what do I always get? Actually, I don't get a lot. I usually don't care for a lot of the fair. Oh, well, I did like Holy Land, except they're canceled now because they had really good lamb kebabs. But I'm sure we'll find some other kebabs. Like, I'm not so much about like fries or corn dogs or funnel cakes. I'm about like skewered meat. So that, or also, so there's a place that opened up, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, Viking Waffle, which is really good. That's actually our tradition. So we usually go during the week, and we'll show up right as it opens, right as everything is empty and good to go. So we'll have breakfast there at the Viking Waffle place, and that's been a tradition the last couple of years. It's really good. Get like the salmon and cream cheese one. Son, come on. All right, next up. Also, box. So if you're from the Midwest, like you know that a party is on when the box of chips shows up. Yeah, not bags. I'm talking like box of chips, which it's it's just 2 bags of chips inside of a box. I mean, how lazy are you? But yeah, that's the way to go. All right. Next up is Tree J. Spicy Anything and the Belle Al Green album is very underrated. Ooh, agree. If Zimmer got abducted by aliens, who could you see as the next long-term coach? Also, who's your dream GM for the Vikings? So I think short-term, it would obviously be Kubiak. Long-term, man, I don't know. Could you see the Wilfs going hard in the paint for like a Lincoln Riley? Could see that. Maybe Matt Campbell. I guess Matt Rule was the apple of everyone's eye this last hiring cycle. Yeah. NFL coaches. I mean, if Tomlin became available, of course, that'd be all in. Dream GM. I don't necessarily have a dream GM because, I mean, all of them have their faults. I do like the way that Eric DeCosta operates in Baltimore, except he's never leaving that job. I mean, if John Schneider became available, sure, even though I disagreed with his last couple first-round picks. I do like Dimitrov, even though the Falcons have been sort of lately. It's really about it. Oh, Daniel Jeremiah. If you're going to take a shot on a guy on TV, at least take a shot on a guy on TV who's been a regional scout before. So Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks just come along as GM and assistant to the regional GM. I'd be down for that. Next up, Brian Kayukin. Barbecue or jalapeno kettle chips. Woo! CD Lamb's individual workout videos are pretty impressive. Do you think he has the potential to be the next Julio Jones? Which pro would you compare Justin Jefferson to? I mean, CD certainly has the size. I think he's a lot more Des Bryant at his peak rather than Julio Jones. I mean, Julio Jones is just a freak show. He just is. Compare Justin Jefferson to. Like go a shorter Marcus Colston. Like a shorter, quicker Marcus Colston. You could almost go like a throwback to Chris Carter. The way that, Chris Carter was a possession receiver. It just really helped his quarterback out over the middle of the field. You go that, man. Maybe like a shorter Herman Moore. Yeah, I'm just using all these dated references that our audience probably won't get. I'm trying to think, like, really good Miles Austin. Just like a really good, like, over the middle, possession adjacent type receiver. Like peak Miles Austin. Peak Miles Austin was really damn good. This was. Yeah. Next up is Oakview. Justin Jefferson will be the Michael Thomas that we missed out on Treadball. Definitely jalapeno. I mean, as much as I rip on Michael Thomas for just being a target monster, if Justin Jefferson turns out to be Michael Thomas, I will be okay with that. And that is the karmic makeup call for the Vikings passing on Thomas to take Treadball. Hey, Livestream, let us know where you're watching from. You guys are rock stars. Hey, let us know where you're watching from. Give a couple of shout outs. Always fun. Let's see here. Favorite board card game growing up? Board game? Oh. So when I was like a 6 or 7 year old, we had this Trivial Pursuit for kids, and I would just beat the shit out of my grandma playing it every single afternoon during the summer just because I memorized all the questions. 'Cause, I mean, it's not really that impressive. There's like maybe 100 question cards, so that's 6 questions per card, so there's 600 questions. I mean, if you play enough, you'll go through them all. Card game? Oh, cribbage, of course. Play a lot of cribbage. Also, there's so even though we're from the Midwest, we're not in stupid Wisconsin, so I never grew up playing euchre. But there was this card game. It's like 500. Zion check. It's called Zion check. Zion check. There you go. Similar to Shanghai Rummy, Phase 10, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Whenever we like get bored as a family, we play this. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. Yeah. Next up is Kyle Rippentrop. Pringles Memphis Barbecue. Woo! Will drive-in movie theaters make a comeback? Have you ever been to the Laverne Drive-In? I mean, drive-ins certainly could make a comeback. Because didn't the Dolphins like make their stadium a drive-in? I feel like that's kind of dumb. It's Laverne Drive-In. Laverne Drive-In. Or the Vern Drive-In, Laverne, Minnesota. I don't even know if I've been to Laverne. You know what I mean, Vern? Vern. That's Western, right? Oh, yeah, that's super Western. No, I've not had the pleasure to be in Laverne or Shirley. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I do like drive-in theaters because also our church just went to the drive-in model, trying to have services. So I mean, they could, although definitely for couples, especially since you're in your car, a little, but not for kids. I mean, kids are not going to sit in their car seat, and also, I mean, the speakers in your minivan probably suck anyways, unless you got a subwoofer in there. I will say I've never been an audio guy. Like I've never bought like 6x9s or a subwoofer or anything like that. It's just never really appealed to me. Anyway, a couple shout outs. Skull from Southwest Minnesota. What is going on? Let's see here. Alex Schmidt, Skull from Northern Minnesota, representing. Skull from anywhere except for Wisconsin. Purple Rain, of course, is in the world famous Wausau, Wisconsin. Zach Dragon Skull from Woodbury, Eastern Burbs representing. Preacher Paul, hauling it for Alia, Woodland, Washington. On my way to Chaz. Now, do you have to have your passport to enter Chaz? Is it one of those spots? Yeah. Stay safe, bro. Shadow CK Triple Play, Skull from Stillwater, Minnesota. Stillwater is a great town. It just is. Yeah, I know they had the skinhead biker gang there over the weekend, but still, it's a nice town. Brian Kayukin, Skull from Montrose, Minnesota, soon to be Mesa, Arizona. I got the job. Hey, congrats, man. Enjoy that dry air. Maybe getting out of the state just in time. But congrats. Let's see here. Devin A. Toft, Skull from Playa del Rey. Favorite chips are chili cheese Fritos. Yeah. If you're going to go Fritos, you have to at least go chili cheese. Because it's like being half pregnant. You can't be half pregnant. Just be full pregnant. Chili cheese Fritos are full pregnant. All right, next up, Drew Smith. I think Cameron Dancer is really underrated going into the season. What do you think? I agree. I think his size and his temperament would matches up really well to the receivers in the division. And if he adds a little bit of weight, I mean, obviously his 4.6 40 time was an anomaly. As pro day he was injured, or at the combine he was injured. So yeah, he'll be fine. I'm really excited to see what that happens in that cornerback room because Hughes, I think, will finally rebound from those injuries, and also love Hefe, love Holton Hill, certainly love Cameron Dantzler. So we'll see. Next up is also Kettle brand Honey Dijon chips are the best chips I've ever had. At the same time, man, we have them here in Utah. I'm not sure if you guys in Minnesota have them. I believe we have them. I believe I've had them. Yeah, they're good. Thomas Miles Jr. I love cheddar sour cream ruffles. They are the goat of chips. Yeah, there's just something about like things become classic for a reason, and cheddar sour cream ruffles are something like that. AJ Bars. Give me your top favorite hobbies you enjoy when you're not working at any of your jobs. Love the show, Andy. You're the only content Vikings content I watch anymore. Which, thank you for that. Also, man, it's a little bit dangerous because now we have a monopoly on information. I feel very powerful. Like we could pull a coup at any time. But we talk enough stuff, so it's fine. Hobbies. No, I do like home improvement. Fish occasionally. Enjoy hunting. Enjoy getting outside. I like mowing the lawn. It's typical dad stuff. I like going shooting. Pistol range. See what else here. I don't know. I don't have a ton of hobbies. Like I don't. Like I'm not really beholden to any movie franchise. I don't know. Maybe I should pick up hobbies. Maybe that'd be for the best. Oh, I play poker every now and then, but is that really a hobby? Yeah. Pulford Skull. Or no, I should get into something like making homemade fishing lures, or I don't know, getting a lathe and making bowls or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Pulford Skull. I'm a big fan of baked sour cream and onion, or just plain. I worked at Barrel of Fun Chip Factory in high school. You stick on 50-gallon bags of chips and any misprints or wrong labels. Yeah, that's a great thing about some service jobs, because I used to work in a grocery store, middle school and high school. And what was great is that, so they would have like the broasted chicken, like Chester fried, Chester breast. Actually, let's see if we can find it. Like Chester. Yeah, it might have been Chester's or some sort of brand that gets licensed out to grocery stores and gas stations and whatnot. But so every day when you're closing down the grocery store, like they'd have leftover chicken that's been sitting underneath the lights all day and dried out and whatnot. So policy was you're supposed to box up the chicken, put it in the fridge. Except the bakery ladies that came in every morning would just throw the chicken out. So then they just tell us, just take the chicken. Like we understand, like you're broke high school kids. So just take the chicken. So we just took the chicken. And it was great. It was amazing. It was good times. So we got all this free fried chicken. Yeah. Next up is David Bryant. Who would have more faith to play left guard? Who would you have more faith to play left guard? Dakota Dozier, Riley Reef, or Josh Klein? Samu Asainem. Also, Barbecue Lays is easily the best. I would say probably Riley Reef. Yeah, it's close. Man. They brought back Josh Klein at the money. It's sort of a wash between he and Reef, so just take the cheaper guy. See a couple other. Rumad Mazel, Skull from Rochester, New York, Western New York representing. I says, you have to do a live stream with Tom Grossi sometime. That'll be fun to watch. I don't know who that is. I'm just playing. All right, next up is Nick Doroff. Baked Lays. Which member of the Minnesota Vikings do you think has the worst smelling farts? Probably Pat Elflein. Based on nothing. Purple Rain. With the Rona changing everything, do you think there will ever be a time when all the Jeromes can get together and sip on some Green Bay tears? Jalapeno Cheetos. Come on, man. I've never had jalapeno Cheetos. I know it's weird. Yeah, hopefully, because producer and Ellie and I were talking about, like, we should probably do some sort of get together, just sort of, take over one of the great local breweries one day, just as a, hey, manifest destiny, we're taking over. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Gage Sandin, A, dill pickle or salt and vinegar? Woo. Q, what do you think about Cam and the Patriots? If you're a Bills fan, you gotta be pissed. You gotta think, man, we were divisional favorites, and then this happens. I think Cam, if he's fully healthy, ready to go, I don't put last year on Cam necessarily, but remember, like the first half of 2018, Cam was again playing at an MVP adjacent level under Norv, but then injuries start piling up. So if that ankle, if that shoulder's ready to go, man, it's gonna be dangerous. Even though the Patriots don't really have that much around him. I mean, Cam has succeeded without much around him at times in Carolina as well. So he's certainly in the comeback player of the year conversation. I'm intrigued. Belichick does it again. Friggin' A. John Wardra. Barbecue. In Livestream, you said you were a scout. What rank were you? I got to Eagle. I got to Life Scout. That's the second rank, right? Let's see. Boy Scout ranks. Yeah, so I got to Life Scout. I didn't make Eagle Scout mainly because I stopped caring a lot. Because, you know, do you ever get to that point in high school where you're sort of over it, and you know, booze and chicks take over? So yeah, I was sort of over it. So I got to Life Scout and I quit. I didn't feel like putting the work to be an Eagle Scout, because like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna be an astronaut? No. I already know everything. I already can tie a bowline. Great. Next up is Jinx Takis. I never got into Takis. Although you think that I would. Although Takis sort of remind me of. So if you guys have ever watched 30 Rock, great show, by the way. Also, it kind of sucks that they're, well, actually, no, I don't get why they're taking on the blackface episodes, but the 30 Rock live episode with John Hamm in blackface, it's one of the best episodes. Anyways, 30 Rock, not because he's wearing blackface, but because he's funny. 30 Rock, cheese, puffs. Yeah, so Liz Lemon throughout the show, like, snacks incessantly on these snacks. Sabador de Soledad. And it turns out like they're really terrible. But, yeah, Taki sort of remind me of that. Fiesta size. Fuego. I will say that any chip now, it kind of has to be like flaming hot. Yeah. It's sort of... it's like what they say with porn addiction, is that you become desensitized and you just need to keep chasing a more and more of a high. That's sort of like me and Heat with chips, right? So initially it was like, oh, jalapeno cheddar, that's your gateway drug, and then all of a sudden you're dipping ghost pepper sauce on Flamin' Hot Cheetos just to feel something. You're like, come on, I gotta feel something. Yes, that was intentional, by the way. Next up is Sensei Star 45, Doritos Sweet Chili Heat. My question is, how do you feel about Cameron Dantzler year one? Love him. Already talked about him a little bit. Personally, his film was amazing. Yeah, like if you check out his film from the past 2 years, especially him against Jamar Chase last year, Cameron Dantzler was the only cornerback who shut down Jamar Chase last year. It was actually really impressive. Also, I think 2 years ago, the film against him against Judy, Ruggs, Waddle, and Smith. By the way, it's so disgusting that Bama. So Henry Ruggs, Jerry Judy were both top 15 picks. I want to say, where'd Judy go? Yeah, he went Denver. And the fact that Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith may be better than both those two jabronis. I mean, Alabama doesn't rebuild; they reload. It's gross. Next up is Brett Vuvuzelos. Would you be okay if we traded Dalvin Cook for Jamal Adams? I mean, yeah. But also, would the Jets go for that? I mean, maybe. Well, we did list the Jets as one of the trade destinations for Dalvin, but I mean, they have Frank Gore and they have Le'Veon Bell, so I don't know. Andrew Hansen, hey Andy, I've driven to Zorba's in Alexandria. My wife and I go to Zorba's on Otter Tail Lake. The nachos are really great. Also, Reuben pizzas are very underrated there. Best chips, gotta go nacho cheese Doritos or salt and vinegar kettle cook. Haven't been to the Zorba's in Alexandria, but we've been to the Zorba's up in Detroit Lakes, which is really phenomenal as well. Some of the best pizza I've ever had, I will say. Actually, Alexandria restaurants. There's this one that we really like going to that's on. That's not on Carlos. Homadoon. No, it's not Zorba's. Yeah, I understand that's the Zorba's there, except where's the one we always went to? Because it was Bugaboo Bay. Did they just rename themselves Zorba's? And then I didn't even think of... Actually, no, it was right here. Actually, am I just making things up? I might be. No, sorry. So it was right next door. So this place used to be called Bugaboo Bay. but they got new owners. They rebuilt it. It's Lure Lake Bar. It's really good. It's really, really good. Highly recommend that on Lake Lahamadou if you're ever in Alexandria, which actually I should stop touting Alexandria because the more people will go there. Actually, no. It's already a very popular tourist town. Who cares? Oh, I got to stop talking about Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, though. Next up is barbecue kettle style question. Do you read all the comments for all the videos, or do you highlight? Close second is Lay's, Ruffles, and cottage cheese. I haven't tried that. Sounds like something I'd be into. I'd be down. I don't read all the comments. I occasionally peruse. But no, I don't make it a thing because, frankly, we get a lot of comments. Also, a lot of them are not great, and I'm generally a pretty upbeat person. And I feel like if I spent like an hour a day in the comments section, it'd probably not be great. Especially that one about Josh Allen. Woo! Bills Mafia getting after it. Like, they don't understand that. So, in that video, I pronounce routes as roots. As a goof, like you guys know how I intentionally mispronounce words, like, and that's the thing that they harped on the most. Like, leave it to Bills fans to go after a dude whose English is a second language. Be like, hey, you talk funny. It's not roots, it's routes. Next up, Tree J. Is it just me or rib tips better than actual ribs? I think it might be just you, but I will say though that ironically I do have a couple racks of ribs portioned out and ready to go. So sometimes I like loin back ribs because there's a little bit more meat to them, but also I will, except loin back, it's a lot more white meat. I'm a DAC meat kind of guy. So if you're getting into like spare ribs, when you're trimming up and squaring up spare ribs, I will say that some of the top parts, especially with all the cartilage and smaller bones and stuff, I'll cook that as well. And I like gnawing on that because I feel like you can even suck out even more flavor from the cartilage. And the cartilage turns into like gelatin, like a meat jelly, which is great. And then also like the bones, just obviously leach out some flavor into the meat. It's always good. Plus, it's always like fatty too. Get some. Trey, probably SunChips. Question: Justin Jefferson and Diggs would have been AB and Juju 2.0, but better, and it makes me sad thinking about it. Anyway, my question is: if we never trade Diggs, do we go wide receiver early, like in the second or third rounds? I think they still would have taken a wide receiver, but we'll say cut off third round, okay? Because maybe they go. Hell, maybe they still take Ezra Cleveland in the first round, which would be funny. All right, so where are the Vikings draft? Yeah, so third round. All right, so say that second round wide receivers off the table, so they miss out on Jefferson and Mims and Claypool and Hamler. So the Vikings. All right, so hold me closer to Tiny Dantzler. So they would have come away with, like, say, DuVernay, Gabe Davis, AGG. I don't know. Like, if they pass on the first round, maybe they make a move in the second round. Maybe they go up and get Hamler, or hell, maybe they take Hamler in the first round. Yeah, it's tough to say. I think they probably would have gone a receiver second round if they didn't go first, with Diggs still around. Because even if Diggs remained, that drama ain't going away. Next up, Stanley Moros. All depends on the brand and flavor because Lay's salt and vinegar is the best IMO. Totino's for tortilla chips, plain, some sort of kettle cooked. Not a big barbecue chip guy. There you go. WDA Robbie. Can't go wrong with extra spicy Doritos. Can the Vikings win with the depleted secondary and a possible holdout with Dalvin? Well, they're not depleted. They're just young, which is fine. They still have the best safety duo in the league. So I'm not worried. Possible holdout from Dalvin. Well, we suggested that he show up for training camp and then hold out the regular season, which would be bad, but it's the only leverage that he actually has right now. Tree J. What's more likely, Laquan hitting 1,000 career yards or Dalvin rushing for 1,000 next season? What's more likely, Laquan? All All right, so career yards. PFR Laquan. Because how many does he have now? I'm gonna say he probably has 480 receiving yards. Oh, I lied. Man, 701. There you go. Get some. What's more likely, Dalvin hitting 1,000 this year or Treadwell going over 300? I'm actually kind of hopeful for Treadwell. Yeah, because I think with Julio and Calvin Ridley, I mean, there's a spot to be ahead as wide receiver 3 or 4. But yeah, I'm going to say Dalvin. Yeah, even factoring in health. Yeah. Mr. Popo, best chips are habanero Doritos. They don't make them anymore. Oh, RIP. Seffi Sailor, Logan Ryan, or Desmond King? Man, Logan Ryan, I think could still be kind of spendy. Talking about like $4 or $5 million. Desmond King is on his rookie deal, except then you'd have to trade something for him. I would take Desmond King because he's younger and has had more success recently than Logan Ryan. Stanley Morris, rank the top 10 kickers in the league. Oh God, I don't know. Justin Tucker and everyone else. Justin Tucker, Matt Prater, everyone else. Cool Carp, Pringles and white cheddar Cheez-Its. Woo, get some. B. Woodall, Lay's sour cream and onion. Which veteran quarterback not named Kirk Cousins is likely to win their first Super Bowl? Cam. I guess that's the easy answer. Does Lamar count as a veteran? I'd love to see that. If not the Vikings, obviously. Was going to say Matt Ryan, except I think the Falcons window is closed. So, yeah, I'll say Cam. Lord Thick Chunka, Lay's, anything else is wrong. Baked cheddar cheese ruffles or any pita chips. Pita chips is very underrated, by the way, especially if you get like a spinach dip or a spinach artichoke dip. Get some. Rank these Minnesota athletes during their prime. Johan, KG, Adrian, Randy Moss, Morneau, Joe Mauer. I'll be triggered if Mauer is above Morneau. Also add Daniil Hunter or be seen as prime. So prime, absolute prime. All right, so Moss 1. Moss 1. Santana 2. Santana was a bad dude, like when he was on before he went to the Mets. Johan 2. Like Johan was literally unhittable. KG 3. Peterson 4. Morneau, then Mauer. I feel like Mauer had a longer, steadier career than pretty much everyone on this list, but he certainly didn't have the peaks, except for that magical contract year was just so strange. So strange, the home run numbers. Next up, Charlie Boltman. Also, thank you for not putting in hockey players, because I'm like, I don't know, Madonna. Charlie Boltman. My thoughts on Kirk Cousins. Kirk takes a ton of flack for dog crap game plans put together against the Bears, Packers, and Niners. He honestly is only as good as the game plan and in-game adjustments made during the game. Unfortunately, could be asked Stefanski. Can't fight their way out of a paper bag when it comes to making game adjustments. If the Vikings put together a good game plan for Cousins, can execute it. Yeah, I mean, Cousins is a guy who needs the instruction manual to put together IKEA stuff, as opposed to just going YOLO. But it is what it is. Ethan Griffith, cheese fix munchies from Frito-Lay or nacho cheese Doritos. I said a few times that notable Vikings gave up in the 2017-18 Eagles playoff loss early. Who were some of the guys that gave up, and why you're hesitant to call them out? Well, watch the game, you'll see. Like it's all on tape. I don't really like calling guys out specifically. Grown ass athletes saying that they quit in games, but some of the guys quit in games. Notably on the defense. I think you'll catch my drift. Pulford Skull. Patriots need to free up some money. Why not offer a future draft pick for Thuney? Yes. Heard they could use a third. Yes. Then trade Reef for Desmond King and cut Pat Elflein. Just imagine Kirk is and bring back Sluter. If that's like a 4-part trifecta, I'm in. I guess it'd be a quadfecta. I honestly still think it's Nacho Doritos. I'm going to keep being the drum until Vikings fans get through heads. Tajay Sharp is crap. Whatever. Zach Hazlius. Doritos Cool Ranch or Sour Cream and Onion. With Griffin gone, there's an open battle for the edge spot opposite 100. Could Barr actually move there this year? It's a possibility, but I think it's unlikely. I think Afadi is going to get that first crack there. But, I mean, if Afadi doesn't grab that brass ring, even though I fully expect him to, maybe you do see some Wanham. Maybe you do see some James Lynch. Maybe you do see some Anthony Zell on the edge as well. So even if they don't bring Everson back, I think they're perfectly fine out there on the edge. And that's it. You guys are the best. Thank you very much for coming along on the live stream. That's it for Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. I was going to say bright and early, except the day is like 3/4 done at that point, man. I mean, come on. 4th of July week. Give me a good time. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Skull, production value.